What is up, guys? Scissornetic here with another video. As you can see in the title, today will be part 1 of competitive battling. I noticed a lot of my friends who play Pokemon like to battle, but they don't know how to play competitively. Either they don't know how to properly create teams, how to EV or IV train, or are overwhelmed by what you have to do. So today, I will be breaking down how to get started into competitive Pokemon. But before we begin, I apologize for the late upload video, but I also encourage you to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. This gives you a notification for every video I upload so you guys can catch part 2 of this video. And after you finish this guide, I suggest you share it with your friends. So without further ado, let's get started. So in my opinion, Pokemon is broken down into 2 parts, the planning and the execution. Today, we'll be looking into the planning side of competitive battling. So first thing is first, how do you make a team? If we were to play by Smogon rules and create a team for a specific tier, then first let's decide a tier. Today, just for simplicity, I'm going to choose the OU tier. This means that whatever Smogon has classified as overused or below, I can use that on my team. I can use anything in the tier or below, but not above. Now that we have our tier, let's finally add some Pokemon. Hopping onto Pokemon Showdown, we can choose a variety of Pokemon to make a team. A team is divided into 2 parts, the core and support. But first, let's start off with the core. The core is like 2 to 3 Pokemon that build upon the other's weaknesses. In this case, we're doing single battles, so it'll be approximately 30 Pokemon. So a common core is like fire, water, grass, because fire beats grass, grass beats water, and water beats fire. Generally, I prefer the dark fighting psychic core, because dark beats psychic, psychic beats fighting, and fighting beats dark. So that's what we'll do in today's case. In today's video, I use the Pokemon of Bisharp, which is the dark type, Heracross, the fighting type, and Tapu Lele, the psychic type. These Pokemon are generally the most offensive Pokemon in the team, dealing some heavy damage, or are the tankiest, being extremely bulky. Bisharp is the physical attacker, having a really high attack stat. Heracross is going to be the wall breaker of today's team because he has the highest as a Mega Evolution, and Tapu Lele will be more of a, it'll be more of a psychic sweeper or a special attacking sweeper because it deals the most damage. As you can see here, I accidentally clicked Silvally instead of, Bisharp, my bad. Tapu Lele does some really good damage with 130 special attack stat. You see that I have 2 physical attackers and 1 special attacker. So what I have is that the reason I did this is because, first of all, you don't want all Pokemon to have the same attack, highest attack, highest stat. So in this case, attack for Bisharp and Heracross are the highest stats. That means it's going to be a physical attacker instead of a special attacker, because its special attack stat is pretty low. So instead, I went with a special psychic type, because that way I have more variety on my team. So if a Pokemon that has high special defense or low defense comes along, I can switch into my Heracross or Bisharp and do some more damage. Vice versa, if it has a higher defense than special defense, I can switch into Tapu Lele and do more damage. So as you see here, Tapu Lele has a base 130 special attack stat with the ability Psychic Surge, which increases the, I believe Psychic type moves and gets rid of the priority moves. So now let's talk about support. These Pokemon support the team by either setting the weather, screens like Light Screen or Reflect, or start a setup suite, which I'll talk about later. So first, let's have a classic Tailwind setup with Drifblim. Drifblim can set up the Tailwind to boost the speed of all other Pokemon on our team. Also, its ability Unburden, which means that when it loses an item, its speed goes up, I believe by 2 times. So, let's give it the Psychic Seed. That means whenever it lands on a psychic terrain, as in Tapu Lele's psychic terrain, its special defense and speed go up, because the Psychic Seed increases special defense whenever used. But we also want some hazards. Hazards do tiny chip damage to our opponents whenever they switch in. So for this instance, I'll be using Golisopod, a bulky bug water type to send out spikes, a stackable hazard that deals damage whenever the opponent switches in. Unlike Stealth Rocks, spikes can be stacked up to 3 layers. Now that I have hazards, finally let's add a more bulky Pokemon to take hits. I like Porygon 2 with the Eviolite. While Porygon 2 itself doesn't have very good defenses and it is a non-fully evolved Pokemon, giving the Eviolite, which boosts special defense and defense by 1 stage by holding the item of a non-fully evolved Pokemon, it becomes much, much more bulky. So now that we have our Pokemon of Bisharp, Heracross, Tapu Lele, Drifblim, Gliscopod, and Porygon 2, let's talk about some movesets. Sorry for the delay here. I forgot that Porygon 2 is not in the not fully evolved section, but is in the RU section, just because of how good Porygon 2 is. Yeah, I'm still looking, which is kind of odd. And sorry for the quality here. It's kind of bad because of my computer right now isn't in the best spot right now. That is why it's not going to be working so well. So now that I have all my team, let's talk about some movesets. Okay, starting off with Bisharp. Bisharp is going to have Iron Head, Knock Off, Psycho Cut, and Protect with the ability Defiant and the Dark EMZ. So Iron Head and Knock Off are for Stab. Stab means a special or same type advantage boost. So since Bisharp is a Steel Dark type, or Dark Steel, whatever you want to say, that means it gets a boost for using Dark and Steel type moves. So Iron Head is going to do 1.5 times more damage than it usually does. Iron Head is a 80 base power move. So with Staff, it does 120 base. And Knock Off does 65 times 1.5. I'm not going to do the math right now, but you know what it means. Also, I give it Psycho Cut for coverage. Psycho Cut, what it does is that since it's 4 times weak to fighting, if it outspeeds, Psycho Cut will do more damage. Since it has such a high attack stat, fighting types usually won't be able to tank this hit very well. And then finally, I gave it the move Protect. Protect means, it just protects itself from any attack. And the Dark EMZ turns it into Z Knockoff or Black Hole Eclipse, which is a more powerful move and can almost one-shot any Pokemon. So now let's move on to Heracross. Right now you see the EVs here. My footage for the EV training or the EVs on here was corrupted, so I'll just tell them to you later. So now I give it the Heracronite, and since its ability, sorry for the quality here, since its ability as Mega Heracross is Skill Link, that means all multiple hit moves will land. So that way I gave it all multiple hit moves, such as Blood Seed, Rock Blast, Pin Missile for Stab, and Brick Break for Stab. There is Arm Thrust, but Arm Thrust doesn't do nearly as much as Pin Missile, so I gave Brick Break to break any barriers that the opponent sets up. So as you can see, it takes out one of the setup Pokemon, or the duties of a setup Pokemon. It takes up this duties of a setup Pokemon. So if any Pokemon, I believe Alolan Ninetales is a really good screen setter, Brick Break, which is 2 times, I think it's neutral, but Stab will take out the barriers, and that means it lets other Pokemon do more damage. Now onto Tapu Lele. I gave it the Calm Mind, Moonblast, Psychic, and Hidden Power Fire. At first I gave it the leftovers, but then I changed my mind. I changed my mind to give it the Choice Scarf, and I accidentally kept Calm Mind. I forgot to change it to Energy Ball for some more Stab. Hidden Power Fire, or not Stab, coverage. Hidden Power Fire is used to take out Steel types, which is weak to. So now onto Drifblim. Since it has the Psychic Seed, I gave it Tailwind, Destiny Bond, Pain Split, and Shadow Ball. So you can see the EVs there, but I'll talk about them later. With Gliscopod, I gave it Spikes, Aqua Jet, First Impression, and Sucker Punch to take out any hits so I can live longer. Its ability Emergency Exit means that at 50% it'll walk out. So the Citrus Berry will activate at 50% and it'll get some more HP and do some more damage. So that's my Gliscopod. Now onto Porygon 2. Has Toxic, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, and Recover with the ability Trace, meaning that it'll take anybody else's abilities with the Eviolite to make it more bulky. So those are all the movesets for my Pokemon. Excuse me. Okay, so now that I have all the movesets, let's talk about EVs and IVs. Right now, I won't get into the details of IVs, but EVs are more important right now. So EVs, or effort values, are basically stat points you can add to your Pokemon to make them stronger. A Pokemon has a total of 508 EVs, which means you can do a maximum of 252 per stat, which is 2 stats, and 4 for a little bit more. So you can train your Pokemon in specific stats to make that to exaggerate its details. So for instance, to make a Pokemon stronger in attack, you have 252 attack stats. Along with EVs, there's natures. Natures increase the specific stat of a Pokemon by 10% and decrease the specific stat of a Pokemon by 10%. You can also increase and decrease something by 10%, which makes it neutral and doesn't do anything. So now I'm going to tell you the EVs, IVs, and natures of all my Pokemon. Starting with Bisharp, we have 252 attack, 180 defense, and 76 attack with Adamant Nature, plus attack minus special attack. Heracross is plus attack minus special attack nature, 252 HP, 252 attack, 4 special defense. Tapu Lele is 4 HP, 252 special attack, and 252 speed, which with a timid nature or plus speed minus attack. Drifloon is with a 252 HP, 252 speed, 4 special attack with a modest nature, plus special attack minus attack. Golisopod is a 4 HP, 252 attack, 252 defense, impish nature, which is plus defense minus speed or minus special attack. And Porygon 2 is a 252 HP, 252 special defense, and 4 special attack with a careful nature, which is plus special defense minus attack. And there you go. That's all I have for my default or example team for today's intro to competitive battling. So now be sure to like and subscribe to the video, hit the notification bell to catch part 2 of today's video, and if you have friends who need help on competitive battling, share this video to them and help them out. Other than that, Scissornetic out.